All great things must come to an end. This is the beginning of the end of the series we know as Naruto. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dan the Man Reviews. I am your host, Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son, and we are reviewing Naruto 695. And let's just get right into it. Basically, this chapter is reminiscing of the first fight. We had a lot of things reminiscing of the first fight. Kishimoto seems like he wants to get this fight out of the way because that's what it felt like in this chapter. Is he wanted, to get this fight out of the way so he could wrap things up in the next, I guess 4 weeks left of Naruto. And it's rightfully so. So we'll probably have one more chapter of this battle actually ending that quick and then moving on to wrapping things up. But maybe 2 more chapters. Who knows what the plan is. But if this chapter has to say anything, it's saying, hey, this thing might end pretty damn soon. So let's get right into it. Last time we saw both of them just clashing at each other. Well, they're back in their starting position. Sasuke does his fireball technique where he just has this big ass fireball coming at Naruto. Naruto goes into QB mode and he has the 3 Bijou bombs. They're tiny Bijou bombs. There are 3 of them on his back, behind his back. And then Naruto forms a QB hand and blocks the fireball while Sasuke comes up from behind him and tries to do Chidori, but Naruto is able to block it and both of them disperse. They're both back in the startup mode. And then Sasuke forms Perfect Susanoo. Perfect Susanoo. He has the wings, he has the sword, and then Naruto basically it's crazy. Naruto, he throws the 3 Bijou bombs at Perfect Susanoo, does nothing. But what's cool is that Naruto forms a big-ass QB, like made of chakra, just like the first part. But it's actually, you could tell it's connected to Naruto. Naruto's the one that's forming it because the Bijou, the QB, Kurama. I'm going to say QB because that's my thing. He has all the sage markings and stuff. So those two clash at each other. And while they're clashing, they go into their flashback mode because both of them pretty much understand each other. Because you see one panel of the QB and the Susanoo basically bumping fists. So Sasuke and Naruto are understanding each other right at that moment. And they're thinking about when they were lonely, how they wanted somebody to acknowledge them, and how those two are basically best friends because, through all the years, they both feel the same, each other's pain. It's like the Gaara and Naruto, basically. So, yeah, a little bit, of course, we got to have some flashbacks. Of course, Kishimoto. Then we get back into the fight. They disperse once again. And at this point, the statues are pretty much done. They're just getting ripped apart. So what's crazy though is that basically Naruto tells Sasuke, "Hey, stop trying with the lone wolf act. What are you doing? You pretty much can't do this on your own. Stop trying to be the one who always wants to be lonely." While Sasuke is pretty much telling him, is that really all you got? So basically, Naruto is inside like the QB's mouth, the QB formed mouth, and he has that big old Bijou bomb, and he's going after Sasuke with it like a Rasengan. And then Sasuke is coming at him with Perfect Susanoo, and Susanoo looks like he has Chidori in his hand. So, like I said, reminiscing of the first fight, they both clash, and they form that big old spear, which they're inside. And basically they're floating again, in empty space, and they basically understand each other's feelings and understand each other just like the first fight. So basically Naruto says, I know you, or Sasuke pretty much tells him, through all of it, I do understand you, Naruto. And Naruto says, I understand you as well. So then that pretty much leaves off until the next chapter. What does that mean? Does that mean are we still gonna have a fight next chapter? Because they're basically doing the very end of this chapter is basically the very end of the first fight. So that's That's interesting. Do we have one more chapter of them still fighting? And then, it was a big ass clash. And we remember at the end of the first fight, Naruto became unconscious and Sasuke won that fight, and then he leaves to Orochimaru. So what happens once this all clears up? Are these two still conscious? Are these two going to still go after each other? Are these two going to be just both unconscious, on the floor? Because we only have 4 weeks, and I know Kishimoto wants to get this wrapped up so we could move on and wrap up the whole series as a whole. So it was very interesting, but yet this chapter was still entertaining, except the flashbacks. Kishimoto, you're down to your last chapters. We don't need no more flashbacks. We know, but of course, it's to have you sympathize with all this journey. Through all this. This is Naruto's goal, is to bring his friend back, and we need, he wants us as the viewers to be reminded constantly of that. So, but this chapter was really good. I mean, we saw a lot of techniques, we saw a lot of things that, hey, these two are so at this point even that both of these all these techniques they're throwing at each other are not working. The the Bijou bombs are not working. The freaking perfect Susanoo seems to be not be able to penetrate Naruto's Kyuubi's chakra. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on here that they're in equal grounds. And like I said, what's going to happen? I mean, these two are going to, I mean, like I said in the past video where Naruto stated that if they fought, they would both die. So what is that going to be incorporated here? I mean, Sasuke keeps telling him over, I'm going to have to kill you. And Naruto tells you, there's no way you're going to kill me. I'm not going to allow that. But basically, that was it for the chapter. It was this fight is going on very quickly. I think Kishimoto wants to end it very quickly. It was a great chapter. Me staying up all morning, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it because I know next chapter is going to be way interesting because now we're in that part where, hey, they're kind of just in empty space talking to each other. But what happens after all the smoke clears? Are we still going to have a little bit more fighting, or are somehow Naruto's going to talk no jutsu Sasuke to stop and come home? So great chapter, guys. Like I said, I have you can go to the site down below with the link so you can read the chapter and let me know your thoughts on the chapter. And please, if you like this video, push like, and I would much appreciate it if you subscribe. Like I said, this chapter was overall entertaining, and I just can't wait for the last chapters of Naruto. So thank you guys, and once again, this is Dan the Man signing out.